This is Sway.
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 In the morning.
In the morning.
In the morning.
Shake it, body.
Wake your fuck ass up. That crust out your eyes.
I mean, no crime has been committed, not even the threat of a crime. I'm sorry, but there's nothing we can do at this point.
Wow. Just listening to that, I get nervous. And now it's an excerpt from the movie Watch Your Back, which is premiering this Saturday on Lifetime, and it's starring my good friend, Heather B. Mm-hmm. Although we only met one time.
Y'all are good friends.
This is my good friend, the one and only AnnaLynne McCord is here, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi. What's up? What's up? How are you? Good to see you, good friend.
I know, right?
Just don't get photographed with me or I'm having your babies.
I know, right?
Scandal.
Can't wait to go through that process. Well, we met at the Super Bowl at Radio Row, and found out that we had a lot in common.
Like what?
Well, number one is she used to be on Beverly 90210, Beverly Hills 90210, back in 2008.
Yes, sir. Ish.
Yeah, and then have to be. I was featured on.
I know, Sway, but I know your story, but everybody else may not know. So why don't you break down your 90210?
AnnaLynne know because they probably, when they auditioned her, because she was like the second person they chose on the cast, that they probably went through some Beverly Hills 90210 trivia questions, and they probably brought it up that back in the 90s they featured a Sway and Tex song in one of the storylines. It was a song called Concrete Jungle. And I'm going to tell you, AnnaLynne, I got publishing checks from that moment for at least 12 years.
Wow. That's incredible. I wish I was on the 90210 you were on.
I know, right? I got paid. So now here we are.
Yeah.
Amazing. Cha-ching.
Cha-ching, right? This storyline is really scary, kind of, right? This is a woman who has a stalker. Right.
Yes, there's definitely some twists and turns in the story, and obviously this is a really important issue to have a conversation about. Stalking is something that it's one of those things that we're all animals, right? We have animal instincts. We have a feeling about something, and we know something's wrong. And it's crazy because we're the one animal on the whole planet that doesn't. We do our best to negate our instincts.
Yeah.
And then you have a moment where, like obviously with the clip that you heard, you're calling the police and you're reporting this, and then you're in a situation where you technically don't have any hard evidence, but something bad is going to happen. And I think this is a scary thing, and I think that it's an interesting world that we live in now with social media, that you got a voice, and if stuff's not getting handled by the proper channels, then go outside the proper channels. That's right. Is my recommendation. Think outside the box. Do not disregard your instinct.
Yes, man, I couldn't even imagine reporting, to the authorities. Man, somebody's following me, and they're telling you, well, the evidence you have isn't enough to, to arrest this person, or at least question this person or apprehend this person.
Yeah.
You did in your research and studying for this role. Did you talk with people who have been stalked? Have you ever experienced that yourself?
I've experienced some interesting situations. Some of them I might have put myself in the situation by joining Tinder for 4.5 seconds and then deleting it immediately afterwards. That was stupid.
You joined Tinder? DB is a Tinder member.
Tinder. Tinder is the shit.
It was
I wish I would have caught her when she was on there.
I know. I wish we were in proximity. No.
Swipe right. Swiping right.
Control yourself, DB.
I'm sorry, man.
I'm sorry.
Continue.
Oh, wait, him.
But I remember at Radio Row, you told me that you were once violated, right?
Yes, I was sexually assaulted, and you're absolutely right about this situation with reporting to the authorities. When the situation that I was in, I didn't even admit to being raped up until I was literally in a setting where I was being accused of being in love with my rapist.
Wow.
And then it was more advantageous for me to admit what had happened to me than to allow those kind of lies to be spread about why I was no longer hanging out with the friend group.
Yeah.
Because it was a friend, quote unquote friend.
Yeah.
But at that point, and people have asked me, did you ever report it? And I literally, knowing at this stage, what would have happened, I would have been, first of all, it would have been my word against his.
Yeah.
I invited him into my house, so clearly I was asking for it. I probably, because of the type of roles I play, I'm probably a whore anyway, so I probably would have liked it. And was I drinking? Because that would matter too.
Yeah.
And it's incredible. I mean, I talk about this when I speak at colleges. You punch someone, you assaulted that person. You're guilty. The person is the victim. But a woman gets sexually assaulted, a man gets sexually assaulted. I know with the experience with the girls that I've been speaking to over the last couple of years who have gone through this, 9 out of 10 times, if not 10 out of 10, the stories that I'm hearing, they're getting interrogated for being a victim. Why would you ever want to say anything?
So when you watch this whole Bill Cosby
Right.
case plays out, and hey, listen, we've all said things about women who are coming forward 40 years later, 35 years later, but having had this happen to you, can you empathize with some of those people? We don't know if the claims are true or not yet, but do you empathize with some of these women who've come out like 25, 30 years later?
I absolutely empathize. It took me, it happened to me 10 years ago, almost 10 years ago. When I met you at Radio Row, I was speaking about this. I was speaking with Kavina and Rich. I was at another, like a smaller radio local station, and I was just telling my story, talking very candidly about it. I want the conversation to be, yes, I was raped. I still like sex. I'm not damaged. I'm not tainted. Let's talk about this issue and move forward from it. And I didn't realize there was a woman sitting next to me. And when the radio interview ended, I turned and looked at her, and tears are streaming down her eyes. 40 years.
She held it.
40 years. She was a virgin. She thought it was her fault. 40 years. She didn't know why. I was talking about the fact that I cut and I was suicidal during this time, like dealing. I didn't know how to cope. I didn't go the normal, crying and everyone comes and hugs me route. I went the play a role on Nip Tuck and get my power back route. I put the little skirts on. I was like, screw you guys. Or it's serious. I can say, fuck you guys. Like that was the route that I went because I didn't know how to be okay with being weak. And what I saw was that night was the weakest moment of my life. And it wasn't even my fault. And that was something that I didn't understand psychologically based on where I was. And the reason that it takes such a long time, and yet in one moment a woman can come out, it was not that all these girls are coming out of the woodwork to out Cosby. It was that the first woman who did it, it takes one. I'll go first. And then suddenly the shame is gone. You feel shame as the victim. You feel like, for me, I'm someone who I'm like, hey, how you doing? Like, good to see you. I'm a touchy-feely.
Can you do that again?
I'm a touchy-feely. But you know what I mean? Like, I can laugh about this and joke about this because I'm okay now. But I, for a long time, went back over every single thing and every incident. And every single incident that whether it was holding his hand or giving him a hug or whatever I did. But I was asleep and I woke up with a cock inside me. I'm sorry, that's not ever okay. Unless it's okay. And then that's with your guy and then it's like you're in a relationship and that's actually awesome. Okay. But that's totally different.
It's totally different.
I'm making light of this because this is how we have to talk about this.
Yeah.
We have to talk candidly about sex and about rape. We need to have them in the same conversation. We need to laugh about the good stuff and we need to get really serious about the serious stuff. Yeah. And that's how we end this. We don't end it by being really reserved and whispery about the rape because that's what makes me feel like there's something wrong with me. I had to cope with what happened to me. I get off to fucked up shit now because my brain needed to cope. In the 10 years that I couldn't tell my story, that I was numb, that I was in denial, I had to find a way to deal with my suffering, my pain, by making it enjoyable, by choosing it with someone who was not going to hurt me because we're in a consensual relationship. But my brain had to cope, and our biologically, we are incredible. We're incredible. The
Resilient.
way we're resilient.
Yes,
we have to keep moving forward, and we do things that people don't understand unless they've experienced it or unless we talk about it and educate people on the issue. So obviously I'm wearing the No More pin. Okay, I'm now an ambassador for the No More organization, the No More campaign. I'm so excited. That's what it is. We got NFL players, and like we got all these people.
You know,
we got you.
We
got you.
We got all these things in common, AnnaLynne. I'm just telling you. You know what? I appreciate your transparency, your honesty, and your bravery, and even sharing these stories with us, because it's going to help a lot of folks. It's going to help a lot of folks, like you said, get rid of the shame and be able to talk openly about it. And it's something that's been taking place in our modern civilization since day one.
Yeah.
So it's definitely something we got. And I have a daughter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who is an amazing young lady.
Yeah.
And I would hate to end somebody's life for doing that. Something
Well,
crazy.
you know what, Sway? It's so cool you said that, because this is I'm starting an initiative that I'm actually launching over this week. It's been in the works actually since the week of Super Bowl, and all this kind of came to me. I'm launching an initiative, and the idea is honoring men who are honoring women. Because the problem that I see with women's rights activists, I work in fighting, for women's rights and gender equality and against sexualized violence. First of all, it happens to men and women, sexualized violence, domestic abuse. But we have wonderful men like you who are letting me here on Sirius talk about this thing, and you have a daughter, and you're doing these things to support the fight for this issue. And then we get all we want to talk about is the scandal and the bad rotten apples, and then the men get thrown into this collective, and it's not fair. And what I want to do is we do a lot of award shows in Hollywood, so I figured one more can't hurt.
Yeah, right.
So I want to start this initiative that I'm calling the She-Rose Awards, or Heroes for She, to honor men who are honoring women. It'll be all male recipients. I want strong female performers, presenters, speakers who come in, they prepare, 1-2 minute conversation about a man who's been crucial to their story, to their success. But it's a night thanking the men who are not just not doing this, but that they're taking their platform and their notoriety, their status in the world to help support women, because we need men's voices. This is a joint effort for... Yay! I like the little applause thing that happens. That's really cool. I like that stuff.
Well, look, you AnnaLynne McCord is here. We're actually here to talk about Watch Your Back, which is premiering on Lifetime Saturday night, and we'll talk about the movie as well. DB actually saw it. And I'm a big Lifetime. That we have that in common. I'm a Lifetime network fanatic. But
so you know how Lifetime twists and turns things.
Yeah, man. I just like how the stories end. White people are always happy at the end of the movie. 888-742-3345. If you want to share your stories. This white
person might not have been happy. You watch and see.
We're going to see. You want to talk with AnnaLynne? Call us right now. If you can identify what we're talking about, 888-742-3345. Sway in the morning, 52 minutes into the hour. Good friend AnnaLynne McCord is here. She's going to be in her new movie Saturday night. It's called Watch Your Back. DB, you actually saw it?
I did. I wanted to, first of all, there's a great twist at the end of the movie, so I think you're going to enjoy it. And your whole white people are happy at the end.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. This is one where white people are not going to be happy at the end of this one.
Really?
Exactly.
On Lifetime?
On Lifetime.
Oh, man. Damn, what am I doing Saturday?
You're going to be in Miami.
Okay.
You're going to be in Miami.
Or you're TiVoing me at least.
Hold on, the premiere's at 8. I might be on I'll be landing. I'll be here. Okay, good. I'm going to watch it.
Yeah, I get it.
I wanted to ask, not so much about the movie, but with people, actors who go into TV, because a lot of times the stigma used to be that, like, I really don't want to do TV. I want to do, like, big films. And you started out doing films, and then you got a lot of TV work. Yeah. And, some people make their careers off of, Tony Danza, like we were saying, Dean Cain.
Yeah.
But when you get so much TV, has there ever been a point where you were like, damn, another TV role? Or are you comfortable with, it's a steady work?
Yeah, no, I mean, at this point, it's interesting because it is a very valid question, and I just feel like the dynamic has changed in the industry a lot. And my career aspirations have altered drastically since I've been able to come out about my own story and have kind of had more of a political aspiration in a way to be on, to be able to use my platform. I see the power of TV because you're in their face every week, but also the film industry is really difficult right now. I mean, it's like they're making Marvel $250 million movies and they're making it with 900 A-listers because they're all waiting for the movie to come around that's going to hit. and they all jump on board. And I mean, little me is not, I'm not gonna get in there with Scarlett Johansson. You know what I mean? Like, so there is that dynamic, and also for me, the content is going to TV, cable. Like, I mean, the amount
Netflix,
of shows,
HBO,
Netflix, all the
Showtime,
other, and I mean the freedom that I mean, and my memory of Nip Tuck and my time on cable is very fond. So I'm now I want to be on. I've told my people that I want a TV show. Like, so we're looking for something specific, and obviously that makes it more difficult. And with TV, it's a big gamble because you don't know what's going to hit.
You need to get a role on Empire.
Yes.
we got Michael.
You got some hookups for me, Sway?
Well, I did the 6th episode. I heard
a little bit about that.
I'm just saying.
I heard a little through the grapevine about that.
Make some calls, Sway.
All right.
Your boosana.
Okay. You heard it. All right. Michael's on the line from Missouri. Say hello to AnnaLynne, Michael. Good morning. How you doing?
Hello, Sway. How you doing? Good morning, AnnaLynne. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
First of all, I commend you for coming out and sharing your story with the world and telling everybody else. But in my view, no woman or no man should get raped. I got raped when I was little, and it took me 27 years to tell people about it, tell somebody about it, so I can, commend, see what you're going through, because it took me 27 years to come out to tell somebody. Yeah. And all along, it was my granddaddy who was doing it to me, and I was shocked that it was a family member that was doing it to me. Yeah. And then when I discussed it with my mom, the woman who raised me, it seemed like everybody in the family knew that he was doing it, but nobody would stop it.
No one will stop it. Yeah.
Nobody would stop it. So I know what you was going through. So.
Wow, Mike, thank you for sharing that story.
Michael, I have so much love for you. Thank you so much for sharing that. I can't thank you enough. It helps me to heal knowing that any part of my story is helping you, and your story definitely helps me. Thank you.
Okay, Mike. We got Al on the line from San Diego. Good morning, Al. How you doing?
Hey, good morning, y'all. What's up, Sway? What's up, AnnaLynne?
Hi.
I was just calling to compliment you, really, because when you gave that example about how when you hit somebody, the person who gets hit is the victim, and when it's the opposite way around with sexual violence and abuse, the victim is the one to blame. And that was the realest analogy that I ever heard explaining how the victim is hurt in that process. So I just wanted to compliment you on that, and thank you for explaining it that way. It's a great point of view.
It brings you clarity. It brings you clarity. CJ in Texas, what would you like to say to AnnaLynne?
Hey, what's up, guys? How are you doing, AnnaLynne?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Like I was gonna say, I just think it's cool that you're talking about that award show, the Heroes.
Yeah.
I think that's real cool that you do stuff like that, because you're right when you're saying that men get put into categories with other, douchebags.
Yeah.
One guy ruins it for one girl, and then everybody's that way.
Yeah.
So I just thought that was cool, and I think it was cool for you to share a story like that and to be open, and the way you go about it, being free about it, and like it's not holding you down anymore. I think that's real cool, and it's pretty strong. I commend you for that.
Thank you, CJ. Thank you.
You said something really interesting, because about you had to work through the process after having this happen to you. How did it affect your relationships? Like you being in relationships, how did that affect you?
I was a crazy bitch. I'm sorry to all my ex-boyfriends, actually, right here on Sirius XM. Okay. I've got to name a couple.
You want to name them?
Kellen, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Ryan, I'm sorry. No.
Okay.
I actually did name a couple, didn't I?
Yeah, right. Not Kellen Lutz, was it?
Yes, I wasn't nice to him.
Kellen's my man.
He's wonderful. He's a wonderful, wonderful man, and I have apologized to him for the crazy Anna that he remembers, but I didn't realize how lucky I was. He was a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful man.
He's fine.
And he's very hot. Oh
yes,
my God!
Don't leave that shit out.
You blew that.
Like, there's a reason that we made up as many times as we made up.
I ain't mad at you. Yeah, I fuck with you, AnnaLynne.
I will fuck with you. You little stupid ass bitch.
Wow. Yo, Sway, she coming back anytime she want. I fucks with AnnaLynne, yo. I like her.
Who you date now? Are you dating now?
I'm not dating, so I'm not labeling is what I'm saying, but I'm having some fun.
You having some fun?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I love the fun dance you're doing.
Yes, sir. There's a little bump and grind going on there.
All right, and you don't have to. do you share that story with everybody you date, or it's just not? It's not. It doesn't define necessarily who you are. It's just experience you had, or
yeah. I think that's the important part. I think that it's important, obviously, at this stage. I know before. When I was still in the story, and that means I was still dealing with the denial and all of that. It would take a long time for me to tell that, and I thought that it would affect my sex life with my boyfriends, and that they wouldn't do the things that I wanted them to do because of that. And I just outed myself a little bit there.
You into biting? What you into? The kill game?
Hashtag 50 Shades of Grey ain't seen nothing.
Anna Bobana.
Kellen had to play a vampire
on
and off screen.
Baby.
Put your vampire
down.
Reenacting Twilight scenes. I don't know that one down.
Get it?
I'll be the werewolf. You be the vampire.
Shit, Sway, you might have to show her the octagon.
Oh, Lord.
Hey, you.
Octagon.
She came in saying we on animals. Sway's a wolf.
Yeah.
I'm a man eater. Tracy's a squirrel. What are you?
Well, I'm definitely a part of the cat family.
Me.
Wow.
I'm going to go with leopard.
Leopard.
Am I wearing leopard right now? No.
You must come back, AnnaLynne.
I told you, Sway, she's a winner.
You must come back.
Yes,
Are you kidding
sir.
me? AnnaLynne.
Yeah, all right.
What kind of things? Turn the music down. What kind of things? Toys?
Well, I found out that apparently in Texas I would be considered a felon because you can't own more than 6 dildos. So you can own as many guns as you'd like, but you don't be getting crazy down there with little Miss Lady Friend.
Damn, you can have more guns than dicks in Texas?
Yes, ma'am. Isn't that such a horrible ratio?
That shit sound crazy.
Okay, so you had to limit your dildo.
You asked, Sway. You asked.
You had to limit your dildo collection. What about
I'm just not living in Texas.
Oh.
Let's not get crazy. I'm not living in shit.
AnnaLynne McCord, ladies and gentlemen. I'm at Real Sway on Twitter and Instagram. Sway's Universe. If you want to see all the videos. And on that note, we have nothing left to say.
It's Sway in the morning, only on Shade 45.